Gattuso has been having plenty to say about it, isn't he? Saying, in my day, the best runners-up in every group went straight to the World Cup. Now the rules have changed. To change the rules, you need to tell those who organise these tournaments. Italy's record of 6 wins? You'd have to ask the people who make the groups and the rules.
Now, I must say this before, I'm not going to say anything, but the most laid-back man under the umbrella of the Disney networks walked into the TV viewing room today and said, "Stand aside. You wait to hear my rant on this guy."
I'm guessing you're talking about me.
I think so.
Let me see. So, when I first read Gattuso's comments, I thought it was easily the most ridiculous thing I heard. I can safely say, I will say, for 28 years.
Well, and that's a high bar.
And I mean, it is ridiculous on so many levels. And why I say 28 years, because it was 28 years ago, almost to the day, that then Italy manager Cesare Maldini went into a playoff, I think after finishing second in a group with England, and said, why do Italy have to go to a playoff when Jamaica goes straight to the World Cup? And I always remember that as being, at its worst,
entitled.
At its worst, xenophobic.
Right.
At its absolute best, it's entitled. And you're right, Craig. It's an absolute entitlement that I can't begin to explain, and I won't even attempt to make an excuse for. Now, here's the thing. And then Gattuso goes on to reference the number of African teams that will qualify for 2026, the number of African teams that qualified for both 90 and 94. Now, 90 and 94, there were 24 teams in the tournament. And now, keep in mind, everything I say from here on in, UEFA have 55 member nations. Africa, CAF have 54 member nations. In 90, there were 2 African teams, 13 European. In 94, there were 3 African teams. 13 European teams in that out of 24. So for somehow Gattuso to think, well, that is the correct way to do things, that is how it should be, is absolutely beyond me, which again leaves me in the stronger camp in terms of my criticism, as this is just downright xenophobic. Now, the other thing to this is, I don't know why he's calling on FIFA. UEFA make their own rules around qualifying, as do CAF, as do CONCACAF, as do every single confederation. They are responsible. They have their number of teams to qualify, and they decide how you come to that number. Now, everybody else in world football, bar UEFA, have a playoff system. The only confederation that does not get themselves involved in playoffs is UEFA. And I feel that this is my personal opinion, it's because of this kind of, we don't want to get shown up. Now, to Gattuso's point, you want 24 European teams at the World Cup, have 12 qualify automatically, and put 12 into the playoffs against other confederations, and win all those 12. You have 24 teams. But from the time Italy goes into a playoff, and some African team knocks them out, now all of a sudden, this ridiculous excuse that has lasted 30 years and counting just falls absolutely flat on its face. You want more numbers, speak to the higher-ups at UEFA. Don't start stealing other people's joy.
Just win your group.
Well, that was when he's blaming the process rather than the performance.
Well, you look at the goals that Norway have scored and their goal difference, which is going to take them through. Just win your group. I mean, I know he spent some formative footballing years in Glasgow at Glasgow Rangers, but he looks as if he's been round a few Scottish bars and had his brains bashed out. Seriously,
he's got a Scottish wife too, hasn't he?
Adrian, I'm going to talk before our favorite Norwegian guy will have the last word, but I totally agree with what Shaka explained and what Craig just alluded. You know what? Because that's absolutely ridiculous. But I want to blame Norway. They have to stop being good and scoring goals and winning games, you know? Come on. Come on. We are not used to that. When Jan was playing, they were losing games, you know? So why don't you carry on like that, you know? Why you bother Italy, you know? No, that's ridiculous. It's not even a debate. And Jan, you have the last word now.
Before I let you loose on Norway, Jan, any sympathy at all with Gattuso? They could end up winning 7 out of 8 and still have to go to the playoffs.
I highly respect the rant from Shaka. Brilliant said, because first of all, we know that this kind of system now is done by the UEFA because to get more exciting games and all those kind of things. But remember today, we saw just today, we have to see how the football changed. Today, Luxembourg played a great game against Germany. Tonight, Gibraltar, I think they were 1-0 up. In their game. Faroe Island was 1-0 up at Croatia. Things are changing. And if Gattuso starts blaming other nations, because Italy has been bad over some qualification groups, he is on a wrong place. I do understand that he will have someone to blame. And I'm one of those who says, let's see the game on Sunday before. I'm in Milano now. I was nail biting when it was 0-0 against Estonia at home in Ullevål Stadium in Oslo last night, and all those kind of things. But Italy haven't been good enough in this qualification group. But then you can't blame other continents. You can't blame any other nation for your failure. As for Norway, we've been fantastic in this group, and we beat Italy 3-0 at home, very deservedly beat them 3-0, and we've scored goals for fun. We've been the best team in this group, so Italy have no one else to blame except themselves.
My God, I tell you what, the Italians, they can't have wine, can't they? Oh my God, it wins and wine when it doesn't go. Norway have won 7 out of 7.
Yeah.
I mean, can Gattuso and some of the other Italians, which maybe there isn't any, I've been very generic about this.
Looking at their recent records.
Look at that. Look at that.
Norway, who have struggled for many a year. 98 was the last World Cup. Have a good side now, and Martin Odegaard wasn't even in the side the other day. No. He's had his problems, so they've got players to come back. They've got amazing strikers. They've got very tidy midfielders. They've got defenders that are playing at good level, and they're a threat now. They're a solid outfit, play some good football, score some great goals. They've won 7 out of 7.
Yeah.
At what point can the Italians and Gattuso not do the math? They could win 8 out of 8. That's taking you to any major tournament.
Yeah. Jan, you were there in Oslo last night. There were reports of you doing cartwheels down the streets after the win against Estonia. What was it like? What was the night like?
It was unbelievable because, back in the days in the 90s when we qualified, it was a surprise to everybody and most to ourselves. When we were in a group with Poland, Netherlands, England and Turkey and San Marino, we had no clue what we were doing. We suddenly found ourselves being top of the group. This one is a bit different. As Craig is saying, the last time we qualified was in 1998. We've had some good players, but now we have a good team. Also credit to our national coach, Solbakken, has managed to make that harmony in the team. And then you have Erling Haaland. I heard a commentator on the Netherlands game and giving a big compliment to Depay. He has scored 54 goals in 106 games, and Erling Haaland has now scored 53 in 47 games. Record used to be, I think it was 34, and this guy lived like 100 years ago. So Martin Ødegaard, Erling Haaland, Nusa, Oscar Bob, Sander Berge. We have great players going forward. We are a bit weaker at the back, but we can kind of hide that by being good organized. But yesterday, against Estonia, we had to win. When you saw that table, Italy could have had a chance then coming here that if they win 2 or 3-0 against us. We 0-0 to half-time, and then we start doing what you have to do with Sørloth. And I forgot Sørloth, who was playing for Atletico Madrid. We start bringing crosses in, and then we scored 4 goals on crosses. So it was a great night, but we didn't party. That was the thing, because first of all, we can, in the theory, lose 9-0 to Italy. Gattuso will find a way. And secondly, it was more expected that this team now had to go all the way.
They were dancing in the streets in Kongsvinger.
Kongsvinger?
Yeah, Kongsvinger.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, I went on pre-season there. Beer's very expensive.
I know.
Shouldn't drink in pre-season. That's another story.
Is that north of the Arctic Circle?
I tell you what, Norway are going to qualify because Italy are not going to beat them by that. In fact, Italy are probably not going to beat them. And I generally hope they don't. I know what I'm saying. Normally it should be very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Fair and balanced?
Yes, should be very balanced. But on this occasion, from all this whining, I really would like to see Norway go there and basically stuff it up them, right? And take the eight wins out of eight, and send a message to Italy: the playoffs for you. It's not about what they're doing in Africa. It's not about what they're doing in other qualification regions. It's about the fact that one team was absolutely magnificent in this group, and you were not. Now, it's not all been Gattuso, because Spalletti was in charge and didn't do a very good job. But for him to come in and say this is ridiculous, and I think it would be a nice touch the way Norway have played in this campaign, which has been amazing, is to go to Italy and put the icing on the cake.
I can't laugh because I'm sitting in Milano, so I can't laugh. But good point, Chris. Good point.
Three-time
If
winners.
you get the chance to go to Kongsvinger.
Three-time winners of the World Cup, no less.